You stand in a quiet hallway, phone light up. Her last message is clean and kind, and finished and strangely final. Your toothbrush still drips on porcelain. The air is plain. Jung names the mask outrunning the weight you carry. You feel steady, yet her eyes began floating free hours ago. You gave safety without gravity, and the clock slid. When persona outruns shadow, she feels the mismatch. Security turns to boredom once boundaries dissolve into access. In the attention economy, novelty beats soft promises every hour. You thought loyalty was glue, and she read latency as value. Teams trade the nice manager when standards fall quiet. Commanders who lose formation are replaced by steadier hands. History calls it drift. Desire calls it no center now. You weren't replaced as a man. You were replaced as a signal. You didn't lose love. You lost tempo inside dating dynamics. You answer fast, and your calendar leaks at seams. Response windows vanish, and your focus becomes public domain. Availability floods the room. Scarcity leaves and mystery thins. You treat patience like punishment. She treats delivery as proof. Choose masculine sovereignty over constant proofs of presence online. She tracks outcomes like the feed tracks attention. Soft words fade when your delivery arrives late. Change the frame from reassurance to demonstrated results. You are not chasing her pace, you are setting pace. Make the room adjust to your build and your standards. Disable read receipts and set 2 reply windows. Say, I will respond at 4 and at 9. Protect deep work blocks and let outcomes speak in public. You are not cold, you are clear in your stance. Now we name the structure mirror. Jung draws a simple map for messy moments in love. Persona is the mask. Shadow is the weight you carry. Individuation means both move together under pressure. Aligned, if one outruns the other, she feels the seam. Security without gravity begins as comfort, then drifts. She relaxes, then scans for spine beneath the softness. When standards blur, attention wanders toward firmer shape over time. In the attention economy, novelty raids unguarded rooms and habits. Jung would call it alignment under heat, not performance. You are not unromantic. Structure makes you readable consistently. You keep promises. You also keep form and timing and cadence. Desire respects boundaries the way a river respects banks. Think of the forge, heat, hammer, then cooling stillness and waiting. Soft metal bends for everyone. Tempered steel carries load. The throne stands because the base is squared and quiet. You don't chase attention, you set the room's clock. High reliability crews use checklists and pre-commitments. Comfort lives beside firmness, so drift cannot enter. Teams trust the pilot who keeps cadence first, charm second. Social proof follows delivery. Stories follow results, never reverse. Dating dynamics echo that sky. Latency creates pull. Response windows teach pace. Constant availability dissolves mystery. If every ping wins you, purpose loses altitude quickly. Choose fewer replies, tighter windows, stronger outcomes on record. Your calendar is policy, not wallpaper and hope. Protect deep work, protect recovery, protect the build hours. You are not withholding love, you are defending focus. Masculine sovereignty reads as clarity, not theater or cold. Treat security as warmth plus order, never warmth alone. Persona smiles, shadow says, this is the rule I live. If you collapse rules you live, she must carry them. She won't for long. The nearest steady center collects her. Micro-action, block 2 deep work hours and make them non-negotiable. Name them publicly once, then let outcomes speak softly. Keep receipts, not explanations, inside your calendar when it matters most. Strategy, not sin. Responsibility, not blame. quiet, steady proof. With the terms set, we expose the trap standard. Jung names the trap where your shadow sits idle. You hide assertive impulse. She carries the missing edge. Projection loops start when you outsource your own weight. You feel loyal. Her notifications teach her to steer you. Security swells, then sours, when you supply free access. Endless yes turns love into a costless subscription. Her system starts testing if the price is real. You confuse access with intimacy. She reads access as price. She pays attention to price. In dating dynamics, algorithms train appetite to expect more. Attention economy math rewards the lowest response time. Instant replies shrink scarcity and flatten your gravity. You call it care. She calls it surplus in circulation. Jung would say unowned force returns wearing another face. She becomes the firmness you refuse to carry yourself. She pushes, not to break you, but to weigh you. If you wobble, selection hunts steadier masculine sovereignty. Teams and metrics do this with the helpful specialist who never decides. They praise his service until the fire climbs the door. Then the dashboards want a voice that can choose. Replacement follows kindness that never hardens into boundaries under heat. Crisis marks promotions, not compliments, ever. Your calendar leaks, your focus leaks, your value leaks. Response windows vanish, and you become public property. Delivery slides, while reassurance balloons into daily maintenance. You aren't being generous. You're evading the rules you live. Choose position before promise. Let outcomes precede comfort. Reduce pings. Increase proof. Let latency create pull deliberately. You don't need colder words. You need clearer structure. You aren't losing warmth. You're losing standards each time you appease. Decline one non-essential favor you would normally accept. Say, I'm heads down until 4, I'll circle then. Let the record show results, not apologies for delays. You call it loyalty. She records surrender and manages you. Undo. The volunteer cage that you built from softness. Face the forge and pick up the missing bar. Carry what you asked her to carry for you. To escape the trap, you must face the mirror. You trained this pattern, then called it fate afterward. Jung says uncarried edges return wearing her face. You handed her boundaries one favor at a time. You thought you were loyal. Her DMs taught you were movable. What you reward repeats. What you tolerate teaches quietly. Your persona asked to be liked, not to be weighed. She tested for spine and found polite vapor instead. You didn't get punished for kindness. You got priced for predictability. In dating dynamics, surplus access turns mystery into inventory. Instant replies erase scarcity and flatten your gravity. The attention economy pushes more pings than you can hold. You aren't being generous. You're abandoning the rules you live. Integration in Jung's map means carrying your hard edges. Own the no that protects. Focus and delivery timelines. You aren't cold when you delay. You are clear. Masculine sovereignty reads as rhythm, not theater or threat. Chess teaches position before move, not applause before proof. Lift the knight, then pause. Let the board breathe. Outcomes before reassurance, response windows before chatter. You don't chase her pace, you run a clock she joins. Founders who appeased were replaced by adult supervision. Teams keep the leaders who kept standards when stakes rose. Calm order attracts talent and builds social proof visibly. You train desire by consistency. You starve it by appeasement. She mirrors your unowned assertiveness to see if it exists. She becomes the firmness you refuse to carry yourself. If you wobble, selection drifts toward the nearest steady center. You don't lose love. You lose shape when you give it away. Treat your calendar like a throne, not a hallway. Protect deep work and recovery like doors with locks. You don't chase. Attention, you set cadence and let it echo. Structure is care. Boundaries keep warmth from spilling everywhere. Micro-action for the next message. No apology, clear delivery. Replace sorry for the delay with I'll have it Friday 5 p.m. You are not withholding. You are naming time and standard. Now the twist. What attracts can also end desire paradox. Jung maps desire where warmth meets resistance cleanly. Care touches steel. Affection meets a carried backbone. In dating dynamics, warmth needs resistance or mystery cools. You don't withdraw love, you withdraw leakage. She relaxes when held by rules you live. Clarity, then closeness. Order keeps the fire contained. Boundaries make warmth legible in the attention economy. You aren't testing her. You are testing your standard. Think of the forge. Heat, hammer, and cooling. Metal hardens because it resists while still alive. Without resistance, form collapses into whichever feed handles it. You carry conflict. Calmly, she can rest without managing you. Jung's tension of opposites asks you to hold heat, carry yes and no without flinching or speeches. Availability without cadence erases mystery in dating dynamics. You are not colder. You are finally consistent. Delivery before reassurance, results before selfies and paragraphs. Scarcity comes from focus and predictable response windows. Social proof accumulates when outcomes appear on schedule. You lead by rhythm. Masculine sovereignty reads as steadiness. Rulers kept loyalty by mercy paired with order. When mercy replaced order entirely, factions multiplied quickly. Relationships mirror governance under different costumes and phones. Choose warmth plus boundaries. Choose story after lived proof. Phone feeds reward constant reachability and instant replies. That trade bleeds gravity, then dissolves presence into noise. Generosity thrives when time has rank and edges. Mystery needs space, not apologies for being unavailable. Hold at the mirror where your habits like to blur. See how constant availability taught her to steer. Shift from reassurance loops to scheduled delivery windows. You keep desire alive by spacing contact with clear boundaries. Set 2 standing nights that are never social, protect them like rent. Guard those hours as the furnace that tempers your week. You serve connection better when you defend its container. She feels safer when your calendar stops leaking everywhere. Micro-action for this week. Clean and simple, then done. Pick the nights, announce them once, and honor them soberly. Write deliveries with timestamps. Let apologies retire. Cost arrives the moment you hold the line descent. Jung names the cost when you change your rules you live. Systems resist because your old softness served their comfort. Boundaries expose dependencies that hid under jokes and plans. You are not isolated. You are in training for pressure. Group chats go quiet when response windows appear on your phone. You stop, midnight replies. Someone calls you dry and distant. The attention economy dislikes your silence against the feed. You didn't lose the crowd. You left the noise on purpose. Jung frames the descent as shadow meeting public air. People preferred the helper who absorbed their scattered urgency. Now you protect deep work, and calendars stop leaking access. You don't chase attention, you set a smaller, steadier clock. Friends test the gate when scarcity returns and holds. They push for favors, explainers, extensions, last-minute appearances. Dating dynamics shift when delivery outranks charm and chatter. You don't owe speeches, you owe results paced by boundaries. Think of the forge, heat, hammer, then cooling alone. The bar sings while you stand by the door, unheard. Solitude is the tax for temper that carries weight. You are not abandoned, you are becoming masculine sovereignty. Thrones look still because the base is squared and quiet. Authority grows when apologies shrink and outcomes publish cleanly. Delete the explainer paragraph and keep the decision intact. Having paid, you choose the stance's path. Expect jokes about new rules when you mute the thread. Jung would call it resistance to your emerging center. Social proof will lag when outcomes need weeks to stack. You feel the itch to explain, breathe and hold position. She may label you distant while scrolling for louder novelty. Boundaries look colder than comfort until delivery lands reliably. Dating dynamics reweight towards steadiness as promises meet proof. You aren't shrinking love, you're stopping leakage across every hour. Your phone grows lighter when you stop rescuing small crises. The feed keeps shouting, yet your build list stays firm. Attention economy pressure tests whether silence can protect focus. Choose fewer pings, tighter plans, and measurable wins month. Jung turns commitment into behavior measured under pressure. Alignment means words, timing, delivery, not moods or explanations. You set tempo through structure. You don't chase tempo through access. Presence follows purpose, and your calendar proves intent. Kindness stays. Leakage ends where boundaries begin. Start with a checklist clipped to a chessboard. Position before move, then outcomes before reassurance. You prove value by delivery, not presence or constant replies. Batch similar tasks, protect focus like a gate. Small rules you live remove friction and invite respect. Install 2 response windows and blacklist the in-between. Outside them, phone face down. Attention returns to depth. Scarcity is not meanness, it is respect for work and love. You don't go missing, you become meaningfully scarce. You teach her pace when you honor your windows. Delivery first, then conversation. Social proof compounds quietly. In the attention economy, noise hunts empty schedules hard. You don't chase notifications. You publish results the room can verify. She calibrates to outcomes when your cadence holds. Results, timestamp trust. Cadence erases screenshots. Set standing build blocks like pawns guarding a file. Treat meetings as heat. Only steel earns the fire. You accept fewer rooms, but you enter them finished and centered. The forge teaches edges. The board teaches timing. Schedule recovery like work. Tired men make sloppy moves. In dating dynamics, warmth rides alongside disciplined time. Text less, say clearer, then show proof on schedule. You are not withholding love. You're stopping leakage across every hour. Mystery survives where boundaries breathe and projects advance. Let invitations land inside edges, not chew the edges. Refuse one favor that breaks your build window. Say, I'll respond at 4, then at 9. You set tempo. You don't chase tempo through every ping. Your silence is policy, not a mood swing. Outside those windows, phone stays face down on wood. Masculine sovereignty reads as steadiness under competing incentives. She relaxes when your edges hold without speeches. Write the rule once, live it daily. Let repetition carry tone. With your stance fixed, you can see her clearly mirror. Jung reframes replacement as selection under incentives, not betrayal. Your alignment reduces projection loops that once trained chaos. She tests because security lacked tension, not because she is cruel. You're not against women, you're against drift inside comfort. Mirror first. See the pace you taught with availability. Response windows absent. You sold boundaries at clearance prices. In the attention economy, surplus access becomes cheap signal. You don't control her, you control the offer. Carry warmth with order, and the tests quiet down. Individuation holds conflict without flinching or speeches. She calibrates to your cadence when cadence is real. You lead with delivery. Explanations follow outcomes on schedule. Throne next. Gravity forms when time has. Rank. Your calendar proves masculine sovereignty more than captions ever could. Dating dynamics reward scarcity allied to generous presence. Care plus backbone sustains desire that boredom used to drain. Watch how projection untangles when you own the edges. The traits you avoided stop returning on her face. She no longer carries your missing no for you. You reclaim decisions. Participation becomes chosen, not begged. Households stabilize when routines are lived, not promised softly. Partners follow leaders who combine compassion with standards. Clarity cuts noise. Social proof stacks where results appear. You aren't testing her, you are testing your standard. Modern feeds amplify options and punish uncertainty. Cheap novelty raids attention when latency has no guard. Your pace, once porous, invited comparisons every hour. Clear rhythm ends auditions you never meant to host. Offer with gravity, not apologies for focus. Replace anxious check-ins with visible progress, dates. She reads your outcomes faster than any paragraph. You don't withdraw love, you withdraw leakage from contact. Respect the test, read the signal beneath tone. If she speeds up, she is measuring your center. If she slows, she is watching for steady patience. Choose steadiness over scramble. Choose boundaries over flattery. Micro-action, sharp and simple, then leave it alone. Don't ask, do you still like me? Show progress. Say, here's what I'm building, starting Wednesday. Vision ties it all together. Walk. Strategy is care when order warms and holds. Jung frames self-mastery as service to love. Your spine steadies warmth. Your warmth softens spine. Calm authority keeps the room from breaking. Security is earned by rules you live daily. Mercy breathes only inside reliable walls and gates. The throne stands because the base is squared. Let the forge harden what comfort tried to bend. You are not cold. You are clear in rhythm. You lead the emotion. You refuse to drown. In the attention economy, clarity beats volume and tricks. Your calendar becomes a compass others learn to read. Choose boundaries that protect focus and affection together. Delivery first, conversation after, then celebration sparingly. Social proof grows where outcomes publish on schedule. You keep promises visible instead of promises verbal. Dating dynamics reward generosity married to firm time. Response windows teach pace without pettiness or games. Scarcity signals respect for work and for love. You reduce leakage. You increase gravity around presence. You don't control her. You control the offer. You're not against women. You're against drift. She calibrates faster when cadence stays real. Your steadiness sets rank and simplifies choices. This mission is masculine sovereignty lived quietly, not announced. Less broadcast, more receipts. Fewer pings, tighter windows. Let projects, not paragraphs, carry testimony forward. Your silence is policy, never a sulk. Great houses thrived where routines were lived, not promised. Leaders kept peace by resisting drift in soft seasons. Carry mercy with order. Let rituals hold closeness. Expect friction as habits complain at the door. Friends may mock new limits. Feeds will demand reachability. Hold the throne by holding schedule under pressure. Proof, not speeches, keeps faith from dissolving. Micro-action. End one decaying conversation without defense. Return to your build list and protect the block. You serve connection better by defending its container. Choose purpose over appeasement when the thread begs. Write the week on paper and protect the hours. Name 2 nights sacred to deep work and rest. Publish deliveries with dates. Let apologies retire. Walk, don't explain. Walk.